I teach science. We're doing like plants for food and fiber. What I told the kids, I was like, listen, like social studies is going to tell you how things are worked, how to express yourself, how to vote, how your voice is being
What to do with
amplified,
information you learn in
right?
science.
Exactly. But you need the information to be an informed like voter,
Yeah.
right? And I told them about policies and regulations and like just realities. Um, but I told them like you could know all this stuff, and if you don't know how to communicate it, you are totally SOL.
Yeah.
Like there is, and then that's why I gave marks for their presentation, because I'm like, you could be the smartest person in the
An
world.
effective scientist can communicate their findings.
Exactly. And that's the thing that I like, that's the thing I think that was missing in public health recently, is because you have really smart people that don't know how to convey their message without sounding super weird, right? Um, like the pandemic was a huge thing about that. Like,
Oh, I was in BC for that. We
yeah,
had a lovely spokesperson in BC. She was so calming and kind. It was like, oh, we'll listen to Dr. Henry talk. She's such a calming
is
voice.
this sarcasm?
No,
No?
like you should listen to her voice. It is lovely,
Yeah.
soothing.
I think it was like the Canada one. Like
Oh, I
the
didn't watch it.
she like again like any scientifically literate person would kind of understand it what they're saying, but it rubbed people the wrong way because it just sounded like some like person that was dressed up as a human explaining what to do, right? um so I told them, I was like, you need to understand this and be able to communicate it to people that don't know it. So like lots of the poster projects I do, or like I try to make brochures and like tell them to communicate it, but you have to communicate this to your younger sibling. How do you communicate this to a fourth grader? And then they have to really think about their language and how to communicate it. And I think in like our current, like when these students are age appropriate to like make decisions and like be like informed citizens, that their ability to communicate to other people about science is at most important, because not everyone can be an expert. And I think that's what's a problem right now, is everyone sort of doesn't believe in the expert right now, and they have a terrible time breaking down large, like really complex situations and simplifying them so they can be actionable, right? And that's where I think the the stuff you learn in theater and the stuff and then interchange with social studies, but really the way of communicating theater, like you have to address emotion, you have to understand your audience.
You have to understand your objective. What do you want? How are you going to get it?
Exactly. And that's what I think we need to do in our school system right now. And I think right now you're doing it. And that's
I'm
pretty sweet.
trying.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a basic thing in the English language is the idea of ethos, logos, and pathos. So those are the three big ways of persuading people. And you could bring that to theater of the idea of everyone has an objective and you want to think about how you're going to do that. And it usually is a statement about it's usually a verb. It's like, I want to convince you. I want to persuade you. I want to, some verbs. And so when you're writing a piece, you're not just 9 times out of 10, you're never just writing just to throw words on a page. There's usually some purpose to it. And so you want to think about how you're going to do that. So are you going to appeal to authority? Are you going to appeal to people's hearts? Are you going to appeal to logic? So those are all techniques that in the English language arts to convey things, to manipulate your message into a way that'll be most palatable to the audience you want to convince.
Wow. Can you talk to my class, Sari?